position with Staffmark?
Yeah, I will go ahead and kick off with an introduction, and I'll let Valerie and Victoria do the same. So I am Cheryl Oxley. I work for the Staffmark group on the Advantage XPO, or Total Talent Solutions portion of the organization. I know that was a lot, just Staffmark is fine. I sit here as the program manager, and we'll be supporting UCT in all their staffing needs as we get started in this partnership. So it's great to meet you all, and thanks for giving us a few minutes of your day.
Thank you.
You can go ahead, Val.
I'm Valerie, and I am with Staffmark and Advantage XPO Group as well. And I work with the Employer of Records team, where we complete the onboarding, new hire paperwork, and any questions you may have along the way. You can always check in with me and I'll get you an answer.
And hi, my name is Victoria, and I also work, of course, with Staffmark Group. And I am a member of our Employer of Record team. And so I'm going to be the one that talks you through the process today. So I am going to turn off my camera because I'm sharing my screen, and sometimes technology does not favor me. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera. But of course, if you do have any questions, feel free to let us know. But obviously, thank you for joining us today. So I am here specifically supporting the transition process as we begin our new partnership with Ultra Clean Technologies, which of course we all refer to as UCT. I'm here to walk you through what this transition means and hopefully answer any questions you might have. So before we get started, I did just want to take a few minutes, of course, to talk about who Staffmark Group is, or Staffmark themselves. So we are one of the top commercial staffing companies in the United States. We operate over 330 branches and on-site locations nationwide. We work on delivering customized and result-driven staffing solutions. And we are also part of the Recruit Global Staffing family, which is the 5th largest staffing provider in the world. So we're committed to excellence, continuous improvement, and long-term partnerships. With all of that being said, what does this mean for you? So Staffmark and Ultra Clean Technologies have partnered together, allowing Staffmark to manage the hiring functions and, of course, be responsible for recruiting and supporting all current contingent workers on active assignment, effective May 25th. Now, it is a chance for you to start a new partnership with Staffmark while continuing your current role at UCT. So if you're interested, we would love to have you apply directly with Staffmark and stay on with us. However, if you'd prefer to not make this change, that's completely okay. You are welcome to return to your current staffing agency and explore other contract opportunities with them. But keeping that in mind, if you do choose to stay, your work will remain unchanged. This transition is not going to affect your job duties, your pay rate, or your contract length. If your contract does eventually term, of course, you can reach out to your current agency or even Staffmark to help find another position for you. So some key dates to keep in mind. Obviously, starting today, we are beginning to share the information as to what to expect in this transition. Of course, we would want to have the answers or a good idea of what you plan to do by May 16th. So if you are going to stay with UCT and stay on with Staffmark, by May 16th, all of that paperwork must be completed. Of course, on May 24th, that will be your last day on assignment with your current staffing agency. But on May 25th, it would become your very first day with Staffmark, meaning that on May 30th, it was going to be the last day you receive a paycheck from your current staffing agency. But not to worry, on June 6th, that's when you would receive your first paycheck from Staffmark. So when it comes to the paperwork that we mentioned that we wanted completed before May 16th, we're talking to our onboarding process. So luckily in this round of onboarding, we do not need to complete a background check as that has already been completed, but we do need to get some additional information from you. So once you've made a decision to stay with Staffmark and UCT, you would apply directly to our website, and then we, of course, would send over a new hire packet for you. In the new hire packet, that is where you're going to see your state-specific paperwork, along with any sort of direct deposit paperwork, your W-4, all the fun stuff that comes when you get a job. And then, of course, after that paperwork is completed, we will then be sending out a link to our I-9 site. So we utilize a third-party company called WorkBright so that we're able to do all of our federal I-9 forms remotely. So when you receive that invitation from WorkBright, it's going to prompt you to, of course, complete the first few steps and then supply whatever sort of documentation you have that just proves your identity. I do want to warn you that with WorkBright, they do require a witness. Because we're doing everything virtually, they want to make sure that you are who you say you are. So the witness in question can be anybody from a family friend, a significant other, a parent. It's just someone who can verify you are who you say you are, and they'll just receive a link to do so. Now, of course, I'm sure that as they have already mentioned, they have printed out a sheet for you that will allow you to apply directly to the position. And of course, we are going to resend this information out a little later today after this call. But this is a lot of information. I know I have probably given you some more food for thought. So, of course, on the screen here is some of the contact information. So if you do have questions and you just need to talk through it, on the screen here is my direct number. That is 312-529-3070. If you do have any questions, feel free to give me a call and I will try to address your questions or find someone who can give us the answers. However, if you do want to send us an email, you can reach us at myadvantage@advantagexpo.com, and that you'll be able to talk to myself or Valerie via email if you do need any help with onboarding or have any questions moving forward. So with that being said, I'm going to come back on screen because now I am no longer worried about the PowerPoint crashing. So are there any questions at this time?
Yeah.
Oh, this will be sent to our email.
It's, yeah, it's already sent. It's already sent already. Well, I received the email.
Yeah, you see that
Yeah, I
email.
seen the
I
email.
don't receive the email. And,
So-
how long does it take? Like, can we just do it now? Cause I don't.
So-
It's
Yeah,
a lot
so
of paperwork.
yeah, I definitely understand. So from my understanding, I know they did send out a communication, but we are going to follow it up just to double check that everybody has the correct information. I believe Cheryl's going to be sending over something to the point of contact at the site. And from there, they should be able to kind of spread it out amongst everybody so that everybody has that information. I would think our onboarding process would probably take you about, I want to say maybe 45 minutes, depending on how comfortable you are with just kind of running through that paperwork. What really helps us right now is a lot of this paperwork is on like a website that you can complete it either on your phone or on a desktop. So that's really going to help that process along. I do know we still do have 2 pieces of paper that we do have to have everybody sign, and we are in the process of getting that online so everybody can do it virtually. And we will, of course, keep you updated on the updates for those 2 pieces of paperwork.
Does everybody have a computer at home, or if anybody doesn't, let me know. Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so I think you can log in here. They have like, in building 4, they have these little kiosks.
Okay.
So, you can ask, who do you report into, Teresa?
Teresa.
Yeah, ask Teresa. It's the training, it's where you guys have taken the training, all the training stuff, you can use those.
And do
Yeah.
we start over with our benefits and all that? Like, how does that work? Do we have a certain time that kicks in or?
That's a good question.
That is a great question. So Staffmark does offer benefits. We offer health, vision, dental, and we do offer a 401k. I do want to preface that with our 401k opportunity, we don't do any matches, but you are, of course, free to contribute to the 401k if you choose. Usually with our benefits, they do kick in after your first paycheck. Well, excuse me, I misspoke. They start reaching out to you after your first paycheck. So once you receive that very first paycheck, our benefits team will start emailing or texting you information on how to enroll. Of course, if you don't want to enroll, that's perfectly okay. You can either disregard the messages or just give them a quick no thank you. But if you do want to enroll, it is usually about a 90-day from the enrollment date until it kicks in.
I think what you're asking is, are you getting credit?
Does it roll
For-
over? Yeah.
Yeah, we have to wait 90 days for benefits now?
Is that what, that's what they're asking?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so are they gonna be able to, their time that they've served under, whether it's Aerotech or whoever, are they gonna get credit for those days for your benefit? So if somebody's worked here 60 days and they just have to do 30 days with you, that's what they're asking.
That is a great question. I think the clock might restart, to be honest, but we would have to check in with our benefits team to see if that kind of credit does exist. I don't know, Cheryl, do you have any idea or any input for that?
I know that the length of tenure is going to be recognized, so their kickoff date or their initial start date on assignment will be carried over and understood from a tenure perspective. I don't know the impact to benefits in that regard, but if we're talking about if there's a certain date at which UCT typically transitions them, those days would all be accounted for. Does that help?
So what, if you become permanent, then all those days are accounted for, or? I didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking at something else. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so I guess is the question around benefits or more
Benefits.
around the length of time or tenure that you've had with UCT to be able to carry those days over so that
I think
there's
it
a
was
date in
around
which you can convert?
benefits. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I know for their, if we want to, I understand it, if we want to convert them, it doesn't have an impact, like we could
Correct.
convert them at any time without it having an impact on you guys, right?
Right. So
that's what I was
that won't
gonna
have an
ask too,
impact.
because-
Their tenure will carry forth with that. I'm not sure if tenure will have an impact to
It's
benefits.
just time based.
Oh.
Yeah, but the benefits part,
Yeah,
if you
we'll
could
have to
repeat
look
that.
into that.
Okay,
So good.
okay.
So we're gonna have to restart again, like 90-day.
They're
That's what
gonna,
we asking.
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna look
Yeah,
into
to get
that,
hired.
yeah, they're gonna have to look into that.
Okay.
For the, as far as like the hiring onto our payroll, there's no impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
That you would be able to,
That's up to them anyway. That ain't even up to us.
Yeah.
So saying if we have 30 more days, for the contract to get hired.
And if they
Say
want
we got
to-
90 days to get hired, you have to work 90 days to get hired, and we got 20 more days. Do we have to start
yeah,
all
it's
over again?
not an automatic rollover when you come onto our payroll.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I reach, 3 months and then I automatically go over.
Right.
It's, it's kind of determined on the business, like what the business
Wanna
needs
get
are.
hired
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Okay.
But definitely look at the benefits.
Yeah, are there certain benefits that the current agency is offering that we should be aware of? Because I think that would help us target our questions and answers.
Like medical.
We have everything. We're trying to figure out like our benefits. Once we sign on with you guys, are our benefits automatically going to be back to us, or we have to wait?
Do you currently have medical and dental?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you guys they currently have medical and dental. Some of
Okay.
them currently have medical and dental with their current agency.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
We will find out the timing of that with the transition. We try to keep everybody whole anytime we do something like this, but let us
Okay.
take this back to our team and make sure we have a solid answer for y'all.
Okay, okay. And then when they send you guys the email, because you're gonna send them an email, right?
Yeah, we're gonna follow up this afternoon with all the leaders at the UCT sites and just give kind of a summary of what we walked through and some printouts that you can share for them to get in contact with us, and also to make sure we have the proper email and phone number for each individual for us to reach out for any follow-up. But then we'll also make sure we follow up when we have these answers too.
So they can get in contact with you and they can let you know that they currently have benefits with their
Yes.
current agency. Okay, you heard
Okay,
that?
okay.
Oh, yeah. Once I
Where's
have
your
your
office
email.
at? Where's your local office to Fremont? San Jose?
So I believe we do have an office in San Jose, but we are actually all remote and we sit on various teams that help support transitions of this sort. So we are actually not local to you all. But Victoria and Valerie specifically do this type of thing all the time, and they're very good and very knowledgeable in this process.
Yes, I was just about to say, once I get your emails and your phone numbers, I am pretty sure that you will come to know Val and I pretty quickly. So once we do have an answer on that benefit question, we'll be sure to include that in our initial reach outs to you individually. So once we do have your email, of course, we're going to follow it up with a touch point so that you do have both our email addresses and our phone numbers in your email somewhere. And so in that first touch point we send up, we'll make sure to address the benefit thing and what we found out and if we can offer any sort of solutions to it.
Well, and I asked them to contact you if they currently have benefits with their current agency.
Of course.
They need
That
to let
works
you know.
too.
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay. Okay.
It's a great question.
So are we getting new pay cards? And are we getting new, how are we getting paid once we go through you guys? Are you guys gonna mail us cards or how is that gonna work?
Yeah, so with the new hire packet, when you get it, you are going to get options for how you want to receive your payment. We do offer paper checks, but I wouldn't really go that route just because a paper check is a lot harder to trace once it goes into the mailing systems. So we do offer direct deposit and we do offer a pay card. I believe that pay cards are transferable, so you might still be able to use the same one. Valerie, do you have any experience with the pay cards and just kind of transferring them from supplier to supplier?
Yeah, the pay card that they currently are using is connected to a bank, so they could provide that routing number and account number when they complete their new hire paperwork if they want to continue receiving their checks on the card they already have. Same way with their bank account, so.
And kind of like instead of doing the direct deposit, they enter in that card information. Okay.
Right, it's a routing number and account number, just like any direct deposit, but it's the number for that particular pay card. And the deposits will continue then to go on their pay card that they gave us the routing and account number for.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, of
Sure.
course, if it is a major concern, if the pay cards are a major concern or that first check is a major concern, just make sure you let us know. That way for that first payroll, when it kind of goes out, we're all keeping eyes on it, especially the pay cards, to make sure everything's transferred over smoothly so that you don't, miss a paycheck and then you're kind of waiting for it to come through.
And they can get started on that paperwork like today? Is it
Yes,
set up to
so-
start today?
So as soon as, because the process itself is that once they are able to apply directly to the position that we have up for them, once we get their applications, we will start sending out that onboarding. So, however, of course, just keep in mind, if you apply on, say, like 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, you might not receive the new hire packet until like 9 a.m. the next day, but that's just because our offices are closing. But yeah, as soon as you get that paperwork, you can start completing it as soon as possible.
I would mention where we get our pay stubs.
That's a great question. So we actually have a separate website So we use something called Employee Workplace, and it's a website that Staffmark has created. And on that website, you should be able to sign in with whatever email address you apply with. That email address will become your username. And once you've received your first paycheck, the access to that site will kick in and you'll be able to sign in and look at your benefits, your pay stubs, et cetera, et cetera. But in the event you have any issues viewing your pay stubs, so let's say you're applying to buy a home or to get a car and you kind of need that pay stub, you could just reach out to us and we can help you find that pay stub for you.
Anybody else?
Do they have our emails, current email?
They will when you have your apply, when you go in and apply. Yeah, okay.
Oh, we were gonna.
So I sent you an email, and I sent everybody an email to their UCT email. And,
Oh, okay. I don't check that.
okay, well, you'll have to catch it. Yeah, yeah, and I can print it out for you and you can go in into the QR code. You'll go to the QR code and that will take you to their website. And then you have to create a profile, right?
Correct. Well,
Yeah.
for the application, I don't believe you need to create a profile, but it'll take you about 5 minutes. You don't really have to attach a resume to the application. It's pretty much, your name, your email address, all of your contact information so that we have that on file. So it's not a big time commitment.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, that onboarding part, the information they don't need, it's already filled out automatically.
No, we gotta do
No,
it.
you have to
Oh, we
put
still
that,
have
All
to do
over again.
yeah,
everything.
everything.
Anything else?
Like a new hire,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Huh?
It's like a new hire, basically.
What's that?
They're ready hiring you.
You know how like
A
when
new
you
hire.
applied for the
Do a new
position
job.
here, like that. Yeah.
Start all over.
Isn't it extensive?
Right now, I think.
What is it?
To keep it better.
Wouldn't
Huh?
it be easier to just transfer everything to the,
time.
yeah, because they used to do that before. They should just, if they convert to a different company, they send all the information and they do it all for us. I went through that before a long time ago, but
I don't say I don't wanna send them nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions. I have some.
Anything else, you guys?
Ooh, and actually, while we're sitting here, let me pull up our contact information again. That might be more helpful than the thank you screen. So yeah, as I mentioned, if you do think of more questions, because obviously this is a lot of information and you probably are going to think of something as you walk away today, feel free to, either give me a call or send me a text message or send us that email. And we'll try our best to address any of your concerns or answer any of your questions.
Okay. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you all. We appreciate the time.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
bye.
Did everybody get that?
Yeah.